Hello friends, welcome back to the cabin. Come on in, get comfortable. If we are meeting for the first time, I'm Sophia. I have been a flight attendant for over 15 years, flying all over the globe, and I have had the privilege of serving millions of passengers. But I have to tell you, my absolute favorite passengers to chat with are my senior travelers. You guys have the best stories, the most patience, and honestly, you are the reason I love my job. But I have noticed something worrying lately. Over the last year, and especially now as we settle into the new regulations of 2026, I am seeing a lot more stress on the faces of my passengers over 65. The airport environment has changed drastically. It has become more digital, faster-paced, and less human-centric in the terminal. I have seen lovely couples get separated because of app confusion. I have seen essential medication get confiscated because of packing errors. And I have seen people miss flights simply because they didn't know about the new mobility protocols. Today, we are going to fix that. We are going to sit down and have a serious, practical, comprehensive look at the new airport rules for 2026, specifically tailored for travelers over the age of 65. This isn't just about what you can carry. It is about how to navigate a system that feels like it was designed by robots for robots. We are going to talk about the new digital identification hurdles, the changes to requesting wheelchair assistance, this is a big one, the specific rules for medical devices like pacemakers and CPAP machines in the new scanners, and the health protocols you need to follow to stay safe at 35,000 feet. If you are over 65, or if you have parents or grandparents who travel, this video is mandatory viewing. I want you to travel with dignity, confidence, and ease, so let's get started. The first major shift we need to discuss is the digital gatekeeper phenomenon. In 2026, many airlines have moved to a near total digital check-in process. I know many of you prefer a paper boarding pass. I love a paper boarding pass. It doesn't run out of battery. But here's the reality. At major hubs like Newark, Atlanta, and Dallas, the kiosks are now prioritizing facial recognition and app-based check-ins. Here's the rule you need to know. You are still entitled to a paper boarding pass, but you often have to fight for it. The new express zones in the lobby are designed for people with smartphones. If you don't want to use an app or if you don't have a smartphone, do not get in the express or bag drop line. You need to look for the line labeled full service or special assistance. Now, here's the catch. In 2026, airlines have reduced the staffing at these counters because the algorithm assumes 90% of people are using apps. This means the line for a human agent is longer than it used to be. My advice, if you are not using the app, you must arrive 3 hours early for a domestic flight. I know that sounds excessive, but I watched a gentleman last week in Denver miss his flight to visit his grandkids because the line to print his ticket was 40 minutes long. However, there is a workaround. It is what I call the trusted companion feature. Most airline apps now allow a family member who is not traveling with you to manage your check-in remotely. Your daughter in California can check you in and email the boarding pass to you, which you can then print at home before you even leave for the airport. Please print your documents at home. Having that piece of paper in your hand is your insurance policy against a frozen screen or a confused kiosk. Let's move to one of the most critical topics, mobility assistance and wheelchair services. This is where the rules have tightened significantly in 2026. It used to be that you could just show up at the curb, catch the eye of a skycap, and say, "I need a chair." Those days are largely gone at busy airports. Because of the skyrocketing demand for assistance, which is a great thing, it means more people are traveling, the service providers are overwhelmed. The new rule of thumb, and in some cases the airline policy, is that wheelchair assistance must be booked at least 48 hours in advance attached to your reservation. If you wait until you get to the airport to request a chair, you are now placed on a standby list for assistance. I saw a heartbreaking situation recently where a woman recovering from hip surgery had to stand for an hour at the check-in counter because she hadn't pre-booked a chair, and all the attendants were assigned to pre-booked passengers. Do not let this happen to you. Even if you can walk fine, if you struggle with long distances, book the chair. Airport concourses are getting longer. In some new terminals, the walk from security to the gate is over a mile. Save your energy for the vacation. There is no shame in the chair. It is a tool, just like a suitcase is a tool. Also, regarding personal mobility devices, scooters, and electric wheelchairs, the Department of Transportation has new forms in 2026 regarding battery types. If you bring your own scooter, you must have the technical specifications sheet for your battery. The ramp agents are being very strict about lithium-ion batteries. Print out the spec sheet from your scooter's manufacturer and tape it to the battery casing. If the agents can't instantly verify the battery voltage, they can deny the device. Now, let's talk about security screening because this causes the most anxiety. The new CT scanners are everywhere and they are great, but they are sensitive. If you have had a joint replacement, a hip, a knee, a shoulder, or if you have a pacemaker or a cochlear implant, you need to know the notification protocol. In the past, you might have just walked through and waited for the alarm. In 2026, the TSA prefers proactive notification. There is a free card you can download from the TSA website called a notification card. You fill it out. I have a metal implant in my left knee. You hand this to the officer before you step into the scanner. Why is this better? Because it changes how they screen you. Instead of the alarm going off and everyone panicking, the officer knows to expect the anomaly. They might switch you to the millimeter wave scanner or do a targeted pat-down instead of a full-body search. It gives you control over the interaction. For those of you with pacemakers, do not let them wave the handheld metal detector wand over your chest. I see officers get careless with this sometimes. You have the right to stop them and say, "I have a pacemaker, please do not use the magnet wand." Ask for a manual pat-down. It takes longer, but your health is non-negotiable. Speaking of health, let's talk about medication. This is a huge area of confusion. The liquid rule, the 3.4-ounce limit, does not apply to medically necessary liquids. This includes liquid nutrition, insulin, ice packs to keep meds cold, and liquid medications. However, the 2026 screening process requires these to be separated. I see so many seniors packing their pills in those daily plastic organizers Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. While this is convenient for you, it is a nightmare for customs if you are flying internationally. In 2026, with stricter drug trafficking controls, border agents in countries like Japan, UAE, and even parts of Europe are cracking down on loose pills. My strong advice, keep your medication in the original prescription bottles with your name on them. I know it takes up more space, but if you have a medical emergency and a paramedic needs to know what you are taking, a box marked Tuesday tells them nothing. A bottle with the dosage and drug name saves lives. If you want to support the channel and keep getting these deep dives into travel safety, please do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. It helps me so much and it ensures you don't miss the next update. And click the like button if you think air travel should be more senior friendly. Let's pivot to a topic that is very specific to 2026, the e-gate pass for companions. Did you know that you can have a family member walk you all the way to the gate, even if they aren't flying? This used to be very hard to get. Now, many airlines have formalized this for seniors who need assistance. It is called a non-passenger escort pass. If you are nervous about navigating the terminal alone, or if you have a parent who is flying solo, you can request this at the check-in counter. You need to show ID, and they issue a pass that looks like a boarding pass. It allows your son or daughter to go through security with you, help you buy your water, sit with you at the gate, and wait until you are actually walking down the jet bridge. This is a game changer for anxiety, but you must ask for it. They won't offer it. When you check in, say, "I would like to request a gate pass for my companion to assist me to the gate." Now, let's have a serious talk about the physical toll of flying in your 60s, 70s, and 80s. The air on the plane is thin and it is dry. Dehydration hits older bodies much faster than younger ones. And the risk of deep vein thrombosis, DVT, blood clots, is real. I have a rule for my senior passengers, the 1-hour rule. You cannot sit still for more than 1 hour. Even if the seatbelt sign is on, unless it's severe turbulence, you need to move your legs, do ankle circles, lift your knees. If you can, get up and walk to the galley and back. And please, for the love of everything, wear compression socks. Not just regular socks, graduated compression socks, 20-30 millimeter XO. In 2026, they make them in cute patterns. They don't look like medical beige bandages anymore. Put them on before you get to the airport. They keep the blood moving. I have had to call for medical assistance for passengers who fainted upon standing up because their blood had pooled in their legs. Compression socks prevent that. Another new rule, or rather a strong recommendation involving technology, the smartwatch. If you use an Apple Watch or a similar device, enable the fall detection and share your location with family. Airports are crowded. If you trip on an escalator or get dizzy in a restroom, that watch can alert your family and emergency services instantly. I had a passenger last month who fell in the terminal restroom and couldn't reach the door. Her watch alerted her daughter, who called the airline, and we found her within minutes. It is a piece of safety tech that is worth every penny for a solo traveler. Let's discuss the hidden fees of 2026 travel. Airlines have unbundled everything. This is confusing for those of us used to the all-inclusive ticket of the 90s. The biggest trap for seniors is the seat selection fee. You might buy a basic economy ticket thinking it is a good deal. It is not. Basic economy often does not allow you to choose your seat. This means you could be assigned a middle seat in the back of the plane away from the lavatory. As we get older, proximity to the lavatory is important. Do not buy basic economy, buy main cabin or economy plus. You need the ability to select an aisle seat. Also, be aware of the overhead bin assist reality. Flight attendants are technically not required to lift your bag into the bin. We do it because we are nice, but if we are injured, and many of us are, we can't. If you cannot lift your carry-on over your head, you have two choices: check it or rely on the kindness of strangers. In 2026, with everyone rushing, strangers are less helpful than they used to be. If you have shoulder issues or back pain, check the bag. The $25 is worth saving your spine. Here is a new rule regarding Real ID and older forms of identification. As of May 2025, the Real ID Act is fully enforced. I know many seniors have stopped driving or have older licenses that don't have the star. You cannot fly with a non-compliant license. Period. If you have given up your driver's license, you need a state-issued non-driver Real ID. Or use your passport. But here is a 2026 tip. Check the expiration date on your passport now. The renewal times are currently running 8 to 10 weeks. Also check your passport photo. If your appearance has changed significantly due to weight loss, surgery, or aging since the photo was taken 10 years ago, facial recognition might struggle. It is rare, but if you look very different, bring a secondary ID just in case. Let's talk about layover logistics. In 2026, airlines have tightened connection times to maximize efficiency. The computer might sell you a ticket with a 35-minute layover in Charlotte or Chicago. Do not take it. For a traveler over 65, a 35-minute layover is impossible. By the time you get off the plane, which takes 15 minutes if you are in the back, you have 20 minutes to cross a massive terminal. My rule for you: minimum 90 minutes for domestic connections, minimum 2.5 hours for international. You need time to use the restroom, get food, move at your own pace, and handle any gate changes. Do not let the booking engine bully you into a sprint. You can filter your search results to longer layovers or call the airline to book a safer connection. I also want to touch on sensory overload. Modern airports are loud, bright, and aggressive. If you wear hearing aids, the cacophony can be overwhelming. Many airports now have quiet rooms or sensory rooms. They were originally designed for neurodivergent travelers, but they are open to anyone who needs a break. If you feel your blood pressure rising, ask an information agent where the quiet room is. It is a sanctuary. Furthermore, on hearing aids. Bluetooth hearing aids are amazing, but they can sometimes disconnect in areas with high radio frequency interference like security checkpoints. Do not panic if your hearing aid cuts out for a second near the scanner. It will reconnect. And always bring spare batteries or your charging case in your carry-on, never in checked luggage. One specific warning about code share flights. This is when you buy a ticket on Delta, but the flight is operated by Air France, or you buy American but fly British Airways. The rules of the operating carrier apply. If you booked wheelchair assistance on the American Airlines website, it might not have transferred to the British Airways computer system. If you are flying a code share, you must call both airlines to confirm your assistance needs. This is a classic failure point where people fall through the cracks. Let's talk about travel insurance and Medicare. This is the money rule. Many of you know this, but it bears repeating. Medicare does not provide coverage outside the 50 United States. If you break a hip in Italy, Medicare will pay $0. You must have travel medical insurance. But in 2026, insurance algorithms have changed regarding pre-existing conditions. You must read the fine print. Most policies require a look-back period of 60 to 180 days. If you had a medication change or a doctor's visit for a specific condition in that window, it might not be covered. Look for policies that offer a pre-existing condition waiver if you buy the insurance within 14 days of booking your trip. This is the golden window. Buy the insurance when you buy the ticket. Do not wait. Finally, I want to address the solo senior traveler. I see so many of you flying alone to visit family or just to see the world, and I admire it so much. But make sure someone knows your itinerary. Use the Share My Flight feature in the airline app to send your flight status to your family. It stops them from worrying and it gives you a safety net. And a little tip for interacting with the crew. Tell us. When you board, if you are feeling anxious or if you have a health concern, just quietly tell the flight attendant greeting you. Hi, I'm a little nervous today, or I have a bad hip, I might need extra time getting up. We will keep an eye on you. We will bring you extra water. We are there to care for you, but we can only do it if we know. So let's recap the Golden Years travel protocol for 2026. Go digital or go early. If you can't use the app, arrive 3 hours early, book the chair, 48 hours in advance, no exceptions. Proactive security, use the notification card for implants and request manual screening if needed. Meds in bottles, original containers to satisfy international and strict domestic security. The 1 hour rule, move your legs to prevent clots, wear compression socks. Companion pass, request a gate pass for family help. Insurance is mandatory, ensure it covers pre-existing conditions and international care. Avoid basic economy, pay for the seat assignment to ensure aisle access. Travel in your 60s, 70s, and 80s can be the most rewarding travel of your life. You have the time, you have the wisdom, and you have the appreciation for the journey. Do not let the technology or the rules scare you away. You just need to adapt your strategy. I want to see you on my flight. I want to hear about your grandkids, your retirement adventures, and your life. You belong in the skies just as much as the business traveler or the backpacker. Next week, I am going to be doing a special video on the best airports for seniors in the US and the worst. I have rated them based on walking distances, bathroom accessibility, and seating availability. You might be surprised which major hub is actually the worst for walking. Please share this video with your travel companions, your parents, or anyone who needs a little extra confidence boost before their next trip. Take care of yourselves, keep moving, and safe travels. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.